We start in New Orleans, where Panthers kicker Joey Slye misses 2 extra points and a potential game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter. Geez, kickers, it's been a tough year at the office. Ruining games. It's a close one. All right, next, we are going to Philly, where Seattle running back Chris Carson had 2 straight fumbles on 2 straight plays. Man, they got a little miscommunication from Russ. That actually goes in Russ's category for a fumble, but come on, Carson, we all know it was your fault. Tough day at the office, bud. Next, we are out to Cincinnati. Cheeky Brown, DB for the Bengals, gets stiff-armed by Washington for this 79-yard touchdown. The worst part about it is he stiff-arms him right to the chest. Nothing more embarrassing than getting a stiff arm to the sternum in front of your friends and family. Tough day at the office, Cheeky. Favorite name in football. Lastly, we're going back to New Orleans, where DJ Moore was subject to a little friendly fire. His own guy runs into him, the Panthers fumble, and the Saints recover it. Man, tough day at the office. Like my mom used to tell me, get the hell out of the way, kid. So, I have something important that I need to talk to you guys about. I have a personal issue going on. My grandma sends me this video and says, my footwork is killing yours, for real. And now, I don't even want to go home for Thanksgiving, so I'm putting it in front of you. Who actually has better footwork? Check it out here. I mean, grandma, she does her thing with the lateral game, but come on, you got to give respect where it's due. Cleats are essentially male high heels. I mean, come on. By the way, the right answer is me. Grandma's too old. She can't contend. All right, we start the show off in San Francisco, where the 49ers came into the game leading the league with 39 sacks. And guess what? They got number 40 really quickly. Fred Warner knocked Rodgers down, and Nick Bosa recovered the fumble and took it to the 2-yard line. The Packers have went 39 consecutive drives without a turnover, which is the longest active streak in the league. Tevin Coleman for the 49ers rushed for his 6th touchdown of the season, the most he's had since the 2016 Falcons. Who was their OC that year? That's right, Kyle Shanahan. All right, Jimmy G. The kid was on point Sunday night. Not only did he find Deebo Samuel for this 42-yard touchdown, he was more than thrilled to have George Kittle back and hit him for a 61-yarder. Garoppolo had been getting it done all season despite people continually doubting him. And this week, Richard Sherman said, you know what? I'm sick of hearing your mouth.
It's incredibly important. He's the leader of the team. You know, quarterback is the leader of this team. Jimmy Garoppolo is our leader, and we will follow him into the darkest of dark. We'll follow him into a dark alley, and I guarantee you won't touch him.
All right, so at 10-1, the Niners have tied their best start in franchise history, and they continue to show why they're the team to beat in the NFC. Monday Night Football was back in Los Angeles. That's right, Hollywood. You might remember last year's Monday night game between the Rams and the Chiefs was one of the best games of all time. This time around, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens came into town.
National spotlight shines on LA again in Week 12 as the Ravens and the Rams kick it off.
Justin Tucker approaches the ball and we are underway. Jackson wants to throw, fires across the middle, touchdown, Hollywood Brown! Hollywood has it, touchdown number 2 for Hollywood.
Pressure on Lamar to the end zone, another touchdown pass. Absolutely dominating display.
Michael Vick, he wanted to come over here just to see Lamar Jackson.
Yes, we got a Jackson 5, adding to a magical night.
The whole nation is seeing how good he has become.
The Cowboys and Patriots were ready for a Week 12 showdown between the NFL's best offense and the NFL's best defense. Dak Prescott was looking to get his W against Mr. Gisele Bündchen, a.k.a. Tom Brady, in their first ever meeting. And Devin McCourty and the Patriots defense, well, they were looking to send a message.
Look each other in the eye! Look your brothers in the eye, fellas! Each day we come to work together! We're blessed! We're thankful for each other! For this opportunity to play together! Sunday football against America's team! America's team, fellas! Let's dominate today! Dominate on 3! 1, 2, 3!
All right, the weather was absolutely trash, and the Patriots, they took advantage. Matt Slater came through with another legendary special teams play, blocking this Cowboys punt. There is a reason why the guy is a 7-time Pro Bowler. Much respect, Slater. All right, Brady took advantage and linked up with N'Keal Harry for the touchdown later in the game. It was the rookie's first TD reception of his career. Hopefully, it won't be the last. Also, that was the only touchdown of the day. On the Cowboys' next possession, Stephon Gilmore wasn't hearing none of that noise. He came up with the Patriots' league-leading 20th interception of the season.
Gathers it inside, arms to the near side, intercepted by diving Gilmore. A lazy throw by Prescott.
But my man Dak said, you know what? I don't work these hips for no reason. He didn't back down. The Cowboys were trailing by a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and Dak hit Randall Cobb for a 59-yard gain. Now, Cobb almost fumbled, but he held on. But the Cowboys had to settle for a field goal on that drive, and they closed the gap to 13-9. All right, last chance for the Cowboys with a 4th and 11. Dak appeared to complete a pass to Amari Cooper.
Over the middle, Cooper diving, first down, 45-yard line.
But after an official review, the pass was ruled incomplete, and the Patriots escaped with the W. Belichick's bunch improved to an NFL best 10-1 on the season. This is their 17th consecutive season with 10-plus wins in NFL records. They're pretty good. The Saints came into Week 12 with a 3-game lead over the Panthers in the NFC South, and Drew Brees is leading the league in completion percentage. Meanwhile, the Panthers have lost 3 of their last 4 games, with Kyle Allen struggling, only throwing 3 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions in those games. All right, we had Teddy Bridgewater getting loose during pregame warm-up, coming up with this behind-the-back catch. He could play multiple positions. Brees had the Saints rolling in the second half. He found Jared Cook for this 20-yard touchdown. Cook finished the game with 6 receptions for 99 yards and this touchdown. Brees extended the lead later in the third, linking up with his favorite target, Michael Thomas.
Brees is going to throw over the middle and touchdown! Mike Thomas in the back of the end zone!
The Panthers weren't going down without a fight, and Christian McCaffrey made it a 7-point game with this touchdown run that had the Saints defense on skates. It's a bad white boy. All right, CMC finished the game with 133 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. In the fourth quarter, with the Panthers facing a 4th and goal at 2, Kyle Allen found DJ Moore for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. Allen finished with 3 touchdown passes to go along with 256 yards passing and 0 picks. Not a bad day for Allen. The Panthers' defense came up with a huge defensive stand on the Saints' ensuing drive when Eric Reed stuffed Alvin Kamara on 4th and inches. That's right, he was protesting that first down. Don't use that. You'll get fired. Kyle Allen led the Panthers down the field and set up Joey Sly for a 28-yard field goal to give the Panthers the lead. But if you watch the beginning segment, he missed it. That's right, lost the game because of a missed field goal. All right, you never, ever want to give Drew Brees the ball late in the fourth quarter with a chance to win the game, because guess what? He's going to do it. Brees connected with Michael Thomas to get the Saints closer to field goal range. Thomas finished the game with 10 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. He now has an NFL record 104 receptions through 11 games this season. I have like 100 receptions in my 7-year career, so that's pretty good. Now the play set up a 33-yard field goal attempt for Saints kicker Will Lutz, and he seized the opportunity to give the Saints the W. The Saints got their 2nd straight win against an NFC South opponent and have now won 8 of their last 9. Russell Wilson was looking to keep in the MVP race and keep the Seahawks in the hunt for the top seed in the NFC as they traveled to Philly to face Carson Wentz and the Eagles. The Eagles came in trailing the Cowboys by 1 game for the top spot in the NFC East. Seahawks are 5-0 on the road this season, and Wilson is 5-0 in the past 2 seasons when playing in the Eastern time zone. The guy likes to travel. He's like the NFL James Harden. All right, the Seahawks pulled out a little trickery early as Chris Carson took a handoff, then tossed it back to Russell Wilson, and Russ aired out this dime to Malik Turner for the touchdown pass. Doesn't get any better than that. Wilson would finish the game with only 13 completions for 200 yards. The Eagles defense gave their offense plenty of chances as Rodney McLeod caught this tip pick from Russell Wilson later in the game. And the Eagles recovered Chris Carson's 2nd straight fumble on back-to-back plays, but the Eagles offense just couldn't capitalize. And Seahawks running back Rashad Penny put the game out of reach with this 58-yard touchdown run. Penny finished the game with 14 carries, 129 yards to go along with the touchdown. Despite throwing for his 3rd fewest yards in a game this season, Russell Wilson was all smiles after the W.
So we had a huge win right there, coming east, all the way to Philadelphia. Huge, huge win, 9-2. Let's go home, baby. Hey, get to sit first class. Go Hawks, baby.
The Seahawks improved to 6-0 on the road this season and are 9-2 for the third time in franchise history. The other 2 times the Seahawks squad made it to the Super Bowl. All right, the Raiders were riding high on a 3-game winning streak and the 6th seed in the AFC heading into their Week 12 matchup against the New York Jets. Gruden's gang was looking to keep the pressure on the Chiefs for the top spot in the AFC West with a Week 13 showdown on the horizon in Kansas City. Meanwhile, Gang Green came in with a chip on their shoulder and also riding a 2-game winning streak of their own. And they weren't just about to let the Raiders come into their house and eat their cornbread so close to Thanksgiving.
Just tell me real clear, bro. Man, I feel disrespectful walking out here right now. I feel disrespectful walking out here right now. Come on right now for 60 minutes. We're going to play team football all day long. We're going to come out victorious, believe that. Let's go, guys, man. Let's go. Let's do it, man. Let's go. Jets on 3, Jets on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sam Darnold had the Jets offense soaring early, linking up with Le'Veon Bell on the opening drive. Le'Veon catching it like a wideout. Then saying it with his chest on his QB keeper for a 4-yard touchdown. Running through defenders. Darnold kept it rolling in the second half, hooking up with Braxton Berrios. Who? Braxton Berrios on a 69-yard pass. Darnold would connect with Ryan Griffin on the next play for a touchdown. Raiders defensive coordinator Paul Gunther was flabbergasted with his team's lackluster performance. That's a mouthful. Darnold wasn't finished yet. He engineered another scoring drive and found Robbie Anderson for a touchdown. Darnold threw for his second 300-yard game of the season and now has 7 TD passes and only 1 interception in the last 3 games. It's getting better. Anderson celebrated his second straight week with a touchdown reception by jumping into the stands with Jets fans. And he didn't half-ass it. He went all the way. Derek Carr entered the game with the highest completion percentage in the AFC, but I'm sure he wanted this one back when Brian Poole pulled off the one-handed catch tip drill to take it to the house for a pick-6. The Jets got their 3rd straight win and could easily make it 5 straight with games coming up against the Bengals and the Dolphins. I don't know if you've seen them play, but just trust us on this one. Speaking of the Dolphins, the Fins were in Cleveland to face off against the Browns, who were without Myles Garrett for the rest of the season, but are with their talented receiving core of Jarvis Landry and OBJ. OBJ wasted no time getting to the stunting, showing off his Browns-themed Rolls Royce. When you're one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL, you can ball out like OBJ with this custom hood ornament featuring Odell making his legendary one-handed catch, but with the Browns uniform. You can do that with OBJ money. Not so much with Hawk money. I got 20s on my whip. Okay, they're 10s, but I keep them clean. Shout out to Day Day. Also, we had Jarvis Landry looking for revenge against the Dolphins, where he spent the first 4 years of his career, and he got it in early with this touchdown grab. After the TD, Landry and OBJ showed some love to the baby by putting a little bop in their celebration. OBJ also got in on the action later in the first quarter with this 35-yard touchdown catch. He finished the day with 6 catches for 84 yards. But the Browns weren't finished yet, and Jarvis Landry blessed Baker with another touchdown catch.
He throws right corner of the end zone. Touchdown! They got it! It's Landry again!
And Landry showed that he had that dog in him. Literally. Landry finished with a game-high 10 receptions for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. Talk about a revenge game. And Baker now has 8 touchdown passes with only 1 pick in his last 4 games. Kareem Hunt also got his first touchdown of the season, and his counterpart, Nick Chubb, sealed the game with this 4th quarter touchdown run. Chubb's 5th 100-yard game of the season moved him to 2nd in the NFL with 1,117 rushing yards this year. He only trails Run CMC Christian McCaffrey. The Browns have now won 3 straight games to improve to 5-6 and stay afloat in the playoff hunt. And Baker became the first Browns quarterback to win 5+ games in consecutive seasons since Tim Couch did it in 2001 and 2. Now I know, 5+ games in back-to-back seasons may not be a big deal to your team, but for us in Cleveland, it is. Josh Allen has the Bills thinking about playoffs, and Brandon Allen has the Broncos thinking about layoffs after losing 3 of their last games. Allen has been the model of consistency in Buffalo and hadn't thrown a pick since week 5, but Justin Simmons put an end to all that. Allen's interception ended a streak of 171 straight pass attempts without a pick, which was second longest active streak in the NFL. Josh Allen and the Bills offense put in the work in the second half, though, capping off a 20-3 win and this beautiful touchdown pass to John Brown. But the most memorable part of this game came when Frank Gore continued to rise up the rushing ranks. That's right, he passed Barry Sanders for third all-time in career rushing yards. Gore now only trails Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton. And after the game, Gore took some time to reflect on his amazing career thus far.
To say that you are in front of Barry Sanders, behind Walter Payton, in between two of the greatest of all time, we grew up, that's who we watched. What does that mean to you?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Hard work. Thanks to that man up above, man, because I've been through so much, in my career, from college, even when I got to the NFL, man. I'm happy to be on a team that fit my style of play, physical, tough, and I'm just happy, man. I'm happy.
All right, the last time Derrick Henry faced the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, he put up a single-game franchise record of 238 rushing yards. And with Jacksonville coming into this game with the 29th-ranked rushing defense, the Titans were ready to hit the ground running. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill showed off his legs first with this 21-yard touchdown, one of his 2 rushing touchdowns in the game. Then he followed that up with a big man touchdown pass. That's right, they fooled the Jaguars defense and he hit offensive lineman Dennis Kelly in the end zone. Anytime you get big men celebrating touchdowns, it's a glorious day. The Titans are the only team with TD receptions by multiple offensive linemen this season. Tannehill finished with 259 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. Then it was time for the Derrick Henry show. Henry caught the Jaguars defense slipping yet again, coming through with his 74-yard touchdown run early in the third quarter. Now, Henry tied an NFL record last season with a 99-yard touchdown run on the same Jacksonville squad. Did you not know he was still on the team? But Henry wouldn't be out the end zone long. After the Jaguars fumbled on the ensuing kickoff, Henry made it a 2-piece with a biscuit.
Give Henry coming up the middle, pounding, driving into the end zone. Touchdown, Titans! It's a big blue wave.
Derrick Henry is the first player to score 2 touchdowns within a 20-second span since LaDainian Tomlinson did it. Henry finished with 159 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns to show for it. The Jaguars have never lost 3 straight games by 20-plus points in franchise history. But now, they can add that to the resume. So, a little history being made. Good job, Jacksonville. The Titans got their 2nd straight win to stay a game behind the Texans for the AFC South lead. After the game, Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette showed some love by exchanging their jerseys. Don't keep that, Leonard. You go back to Jacksonville. The Steelers were ready to ride on the Cincinnati Bengals after a tough loss to the Browns a week ago, their first since 2014. What better way to get back on track than to get away to Cincinnati, Ohio for a meeting with the glorious 0-10 Bengals. Ryan Finley got the Bengals off to a good start, connected with Tyler Boyd, who came through with an incredible, magnificent one-hand catch for a 47-yard gain. Boyd then followed that up with a 15-yard touchdown catch on Joe Hayden, and he finished the day with 5 grabs for 101 yards. It was tough sledding for old Mason Rudolph. And after a 3-and-out early in the third quarter, head coach Mike Tomlin decided he would no longer let poor Rudolph play in this game. Sorry, I had to do it. Christmas is around the corner. All right, the Steelers turn to duck. Mason joke. The Steelers turn to duck, that's right. Devlin Duck Hodges, who got busy finding James Washington on this 79-yard touchdown pass. Magnificent running catch, Washington. Finley had one last chance to get the Bengals their first win of the season, but a strip, sack, and fumble recovery by Bud Dupree helped the Steelers preserve the W. Browns defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson, who faces the Steelers next week, said he has a preference who plays quarterback for the Steelers.
Sheldon, Rudolph got benched today. Would it be disappointing if he doesn't play next week?
I don't really care, bro.
You guys did such a great job of...
I hope he plays.
Yeah.
I hope he plays.
Why?
Did you see him last game?
Out in Chicago, the Giants and the Bears came into the weekend with struggling offenses led by quarterbacks hoping to get back on track. After being sidelined late in the fourth quarter a week ago with a hip injury, all eyes were on Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky put together a 77-yard drive all the way down to the Giants' 14 before throwing a pick in the end zone to Alex Overtree. So, improvement. All of Chicago gasped because they could take comfort that things were back to normal. No more of those drive-leading things, Mitch. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones had Giants fans thinking it might be the game that the G-Men snapped their 6-game losing streak. Danny Dimes hit Kaden Smith on this 3-yard touchdown strike, the first of his career. Jones finished with 2 touchdown passes in the day, but couldn't keep up with the Bears' offense in the second half. Did I just read that? Okay. Trubisky hit Allen Robinson to take their first lead, and the Bears didn't look back, scoring on their first 3 possessions of the half. And the defense played their part for the Bears getting their second touchdown when Khalil Mack stripped and sacked Daniel Jones, putting the Bears on the 3-yard line. The Bears held the Giants' offense to 243 yards for the day and got their second win in the last 3 games. Chicago will now head to Detroit for a Thanksgiving meetup with the Lions. All right, now we got the Lions versus Washington. This was a game that by NFL rules, someone had to win. Well, or tie, which was very possible and almost happened. The game featured 7 field goals, so if you're a big fan of kickers, you definitely got your money's worth, which, judging by the ticket prices heading into this game, was at least enough to buy a Happy Meal. Dwayne Haskins got his first W of his career and celebrated by taking a selfie with some fans. That's cool to see, except for the fact that the game was still going on. Washington had the ball still, and they had to call on backup Case Keenum to come in and lead the victory formation. Now, obviously, Haskins' selfie hit the net shortly after and will live in infamy with other Washington quarterback questionable moments. At least he didn't bang his head like old Gus Frerotte. After the game, Haskins had some splaining to do.
I was so hyped. I think I broke a water bottle. I look up and we're in victory. I said, oh, I thought the game was over with already, but I get it next time.
The Redskins snapped a 9-game home losing streak while the Lions dropped their 4th straight game. But they'll be hoping to rebound on Old Turkey Day. The Bucs entered the game looking to snap a 5-game losing streak to the Falcons. The Falcons defense, they had this matchup circled on the calendar because quarterback Jameis Winston had been giving up the rock more. You know what? Make your own joke. Winston came into the game with 22 giveaways this season. And, like Black Santa Claus, Winston came bearing gifts in the first quarter, getting picked off by Desmond Trufant. Winston did throw 2 picks in this game, which gave him 100 interceptions for his career. He's very much in the spirit of NFL 100. But wide receiver Chris Godwin felt like eating a W, and he helped Jameis bounce back with 184 receiving yards, including this 71-yard catch and run. And not done yet, Godwin had this amazing grab, taking a hit and hanging onto the ball with one hand. Winston eclipsed 300 yards for the 8th time this season, but none of those yards were more memorable than when 6'4", 347-pound defensive tackle Vita Vea entered the backfield as a fullback and did this.
And the ball, play action, bootleg roll pass to Vita Vea. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The big fella scores his first career touchdown. Oh boy, what a catch. He was wide open.
At 347 pounds, Vita Vea became the heaviest player since 1950 to catch a touchdown pass. And he wasn't the only Bucs defensive lineman to score. And Ndamukong Suh returned a fumble for 6. And when a big guy scores, the celebrations run long. So you have to bear with us on this one. Just FYI, you ain't gonna be able to tell the big boys nothing all week. If you ask Bucs head coach Bruce Arians, this game was a work of art.
Here we go. That was a team win in all 3 phases. Was it pretty? Damn right it was pretty.
The Bucs will try to keep their playoff hopes alive against the Jaguars next week, while the Falcons will be spending Thanksgiving with the Saints this Thursday.